La, la, la. Hey, yeah, yeah.
Well, our next guest has been tracking her journey to health on her blog. It's called yearofthedetox.com, and she has committed to exactly that, a year-long detox, and she's on month 3, so we're checking in right now with Jennifer Walker. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hi,
Nice to see you guys again.
Good to see you too.
Very exciting.
So the first 2 months were drink lots of water and get moving.
Get moving, yeah.
Month 3 is about?
Replenishing enzymes.
Okay.
Ah, very scientific. Now, what exactly is an enzyme?
An enzyme is basically, we'll just put it very layman's terms, it's kind of like the refurbisher of your body. So anytime that you consume something or anything that comes into your body, it breaks it down and then it rebuilds it into something that your body can use.
Okay.
So very, very simply
They're like
put.
worker bees in your belly.
Kind of, yeah, kind of. Your body does produce some of its own enzymes.
Okay.
Everywhere I read, there were so many different numbers, but you're looking in the thousands of and different types of enzymes working in your body. Your body does produce some of them, something like 2,000.
Okay.
But for the rest of them, they all your body depends on what you consume. Okay. So you need to consume to rebuild and get more enzymes into your system.
So obviously, it has a lot to do. What you're eating must make a huge difference on how they're working, right?
Totally.
So what kind of foods, let's say, would be a negative towards the process?
Process is an interesting word. Anything processed. Processed foods. So anything that often is cooked. Now this is not, mind you, a rule for everything.
Right.
Basically you're looking at things that are raw, fresh, and organic is good too.
Okay.
Anything like that, those are the richest in enzymes. But then you have things like potatoes, where when you cook them, that's when it's the best for it. You're not going to eat a raw potato.
Right.
You know, things like that.
Right.
But generally, the general rule of thumb is fresh, raw. And that's where you have your most enzyme punch.
Perfect.
Okay.
So anytime you cook something, sometimes, you know, different enzymes come out, different aspects, like tomatoes, for example, the lycopene is better when it's been cooked.
Right.
But in general, you want raw.
Okay.
In general.
Okay.
Well, you've brought in some interesting items today.
Yes.
I have brought in some interesting items.
I love dragon fruit.
Yes.
And it looks funky, but it looks
It's very
exotic.
good. It does.
It is, yeah. So, I mean, you can have some if
Why
you like.
dragon fruit?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to bring in a few things that maybe people haven't tried before.
Right.
So dragon fruit is not something that the average person goes to the grocery store like apples, oranges, and my dragon fruit, and off I go now.
Right.
So that's an example of something you can have for dessert.
Okay.
When you're eating and trying to incorporate more raw into your diet. I'm not here to tell everyone to eat only raw.
Right.
Because that's not a choice that I would ever do for myself, especially after what I've gone through here.
Right.
But just to make sure that you are incorporating some food in your diet that isn't processed, that isn't cooked, that, you know, hasn't gotten rid of most of the enzymes that you need.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's a good way to eat dessert. Also really good if you like dragon fruit. Sprinkle some lemon on it. It really brings out the flavor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that for sure.
Really, really good.
And the nice thing about doing something like that, it's a great thing to sort of challenge yourself to try something new, right? Especially if it's fresh. It's fun to go through the. Hey, I've never tried that before.
Speaking of challenge.
Yeah, what is this? Because it looks like plastic. I'm not going to lie to you.
They're kelp noodles.
Okay.
So this is what they look like before you do anything to them. You get them in bags. You can get refrigerated varieties or just in bags with a bit of liquid water. And then I made some pasta for you.
Oh,
so
really?
be warned, they're a little crunchy.
Okay.
So the sauce is pretty much made up of tomato, cashew, and red pepper.
Ooh.
Oh,
So I did my best to try and cut them for you. They're very stringy, they're very long.
Okay.
So again,
It'll make for
crunchy.
entertaining TV
Yeah,
to
that's
see us
right.
try this anyway.
Now,
All
kelp is interesting.
Kelp is
You
one
don't-
of the superfoods. It has a lot of nutrients in it.
Right,
Yeah.
and you don't hear about people eating it very often. Usually you hear about fish or whales eating kelp.
Yeah.
Why
well,
kelp?
Well, just because it's so nutrient packed, and it's one of the few ways that you can incorporate something that's sort of similar to a pasta meal that you would
Right.
normally have. And you know, I would take something like hemp seeds, raw shelled hemp seeds.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's legal. And you sprinkle
Thanks for
it on
pointing that
there.
out.
Yeah,
Good.
no, very legal. Sprinkle it on there, and this is another one of your superfoods if you want to kind of dip in and take a little taste of that. They don't have a strong taste, but they have a bit of a nutty flavor.
Okay.
And it's nice to make raw food. Personally, I found in my experience, because part of my detox was to have once a week a meal that was completely raw.
Right.
So I needed to find things that would make it heartier for me, because when you're eating only vegetables and you're eating, things like the kelp noodles, I didn't find them. Oh, you're getting a little hungry.
You get hungry.
So does my husband. So, which I've subjected him to that as well.
He can handle it. He's a tough guy.
He loves me. So I found these were very good to sprinkle on yogurt, salads, just to make them a lot heartier.
Right.
And they have kind of a nutty texture.
That's good.
They're
I
good,
like
yeah.
this. This
And
is
not
really
an overpowering
tasty.
flavor for something that
exactly.
adds so much nutrition into
And if
it.
you look at the back of it, crazy amounts of nutrients. I mean, we're talking 110% of your daily dose of manganese.
Wow.
Things like 70% of your magnesium, your zinc, there's fiber, there's huge amounts of omegas, proteins, all this stuff going on.
And you're also an advocate of making your own salad dressings, but raw.
Yeah, well, if you can make your own salad dressing, I mean, it doesn't take much to take some expeller cold-pressed olive oil and some balsamic. I mean, that's raw.
Yeah.
But that can get boring, so if you don't want to go too far into it, you can always buy raw food dressings.
Right.
I got this
like
at the
this,
Rainbow. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, you know what? This has opened my eyes. This is delicious and really some great tips. Thank you so much, Jennifer, and good luck.
Yes, good
Next
luck.
month,
Add
month
raw.
4.
Add raw to your
Add raw
diet
to your
a little
diet.
bit here and
it's
there.
so simple.
Yeah, very
We'll
important.
see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jennifer.